I've been the victim of 2 thefts today, and no, of course, it's not being perpetuated by a person. I'm in Mexico. There's no fatiguers, there's no stinking starnies, there's no CUNTs walking the streets. They don't let them in. They're not trying to destroy their own country. I'm so angry. So, I'm angry about what's going on in the world, but also, just to rile me up a bit more, 2 companies have stolen money off me today. The first is the Mexican pharmacy where I exchanged my toothpaste. Rather than refunding me, they've just charged me again. And I feel like that one is just the universe encouraging me to let go more of my distrust that shows up as a need for money, a need to accumulate money. I've gone through this lesson a lot. Essentially lost £1 million worth of assets since I was 30. 300,000 in the last 2 years. So really a tenner shouldn't bother me, and it doesn't bother me. And I wouldn't even be mentioning it if it wasn't for this next one. £50 has gone out of my account today to Oxfam. Oxfam. Yes, that sick organisation that is involved in child noncing, child trafficking, all sorts of horrendous acts around the world, but masquerades as a charity. Just like all major charities, it's a satanic organisation, and the word satanic means so many different things to so many different people, but I just use it to express my disgust. How have Oxfam taken £50 out of my account? I've never ever had anything to do with them. I've never even looked at one of their websites, their links, their adverts, anything. And there it is in my account, Oxfam. Child nonces, child traffickers, evil people. You have contributed £50 towards evil people. Man, I'm so pissed off. But it's not even that. It's not even that. It's this world. And it's also my reaction to this world. It's my pot smoking. It's this deep frustration I'm in where I realise that the reality of this world is horrendous. Not my present reality, not what I see in front of me. I realise also that I'm very blessed to not be in the UK, to not be directly in the line of tyranny, to not be witnessing physically with my eyes my beloved country crumbling all around me, to not be physically witnessing with my eyes self-hating, indoctrinated people, some of whom are even paid by the government, cheering on the destruction of my country, allowing and facilitating the destruction of my country. And yes, I get the respite of being in Mexico, and I get walking along this street now and not having to look at any boat bastards, any Pakis, any Afghanis, an Afghani army that has been brought in who understandably hates our country, members of the Taliban that only a few years ago were fighting against us, only a few years ago were watching us destroy their country. And I shouldn't use the word us because it's not us, it's a sick, noncing, satanic. There's no words to describe the elite, the small hat elite that we have controlling all the systems. You know, it's them that did horrendous things in Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's them that rightly made their people hate on our country. And it's them that is now bringing in the very soldiers that we fought against. The very soldiers that have been conditioned through their life circumstances to despise our country, our people, our culture. No, I don't have to look at them. I get to walk now to a nice cafe in the sunshine. But actually my reality like everyone, I'm a victim of a system that has been made to destroy families, turn families against each other with their ideology, rip apart communities, isolate everyone, get everyone addicted to technology and other things, anything to escape this horrendous reality that we've all been forced to live in. So like anyone, my reality really is my phone screen, because I'm completely isolated, I'm completely lonely, I no longer know how to connect with people, I can't communicate with my family, there is nobody. There's a handful of people that I can communicate with. But, you know, those crucial tribal structures that humans need have just been ripped away from us. So I've spent my day in my room staring at Twitter, just in despair, which I think is best summed up when I have to watch lefties in masks protecting an invading army that are graping our kids, because in their culture there is no difference between grape and sex. It's just sex. It's just the man wants you now, and that's the way it is. Whether you're a female, a girl, a little boy, Bachubazi, Afghani culture of graping young boys. Nobody's safe. We even saw a 6-year-old man get graped outside a church in broad daylight the other day. A day later, and I think a 50-year-old man, I'm not quite sure on the age, but a man in Liverpool got graped on a night out. And then we have people standing there, refugees are welcome here. As if reality right now isn't bad enough. Are they not able to look 30 years in advance? The problem is, these people, it all just comes from their own self-hatred. You know, this intense hatred of self that just makes them want to destroy everything around them. I don't really know what you do about that or how you deal with it. It's all feeling very real. All feeling very real today. And often I find when I feel like this, you know, it's the breakdown before the breakthrough. The letting go of something. You know, there's many different perspectives within me. Like, in one way I can see how real and horrendous it is and what people are going through. And then in another sense, I can see that it's all just a simulation and doesn't really matter much. But that isn't the reality I'm in today. But I think really what all this is me really feeling the distortion in myself that my relationship with cannabis causes and where it puts me. Because the reality is, it's just, I need to look at my map for a minute. There's one reality where I could really surrender to God, to, you know, just literally surrender and let go of all of this and find a great purpose in this life. You know, I can feel that I'm very close, potentially, to breaking through into having great purpose and great influence and impact. And then I can see another reality where none of that could happen and I could just stay small and stay a pothead. And it's not even about me. What am I trying to speak into? Like, oh man. That fine line between two possibilities and two realities, which actually is a great chasm between the two. And that it is all up to me, and that I can choose it. And it's literally based on whether I want to lean in and feel, or whether I want to just carry on getting stoned and lean out. And it's inevitable what that decision will be. I always lean in. I always lean in. Sometimes it takes a bit of time. I'm very grateful that I think in the past 2 years I've got to a place where the story of ending things is no longer real for me. I can no longer really play out that story. I can get stoned and I can lie in bed and I can, you know, kind of go into another dimension, a dimension of like I'm not here, almost a dimension of, oh man, it's very peaceful. Like there's some element of leaving the human body in it. There's also some element of escapism and, you know, essentially pretending one is dead. But I no longer go into the stories of wanting to make that happen, i.e. ending myself. The story I'm left with is just this story that if I could press a button now and it was all over, I would. But that's progress from where's the rope? Where will I tie the rope? Who will find me? You know, these sort of thoughts. There's a realising that there isn't a reality in it anymore. There's no chance of me doing it. But there is a desire for all this to end. Because it's crap. And it's meaningless. And it's hopeless. But at the same time, I can see how meaningful it is. I say all this in the same week that somebody reflected to me that I'm the most inspirational man they've ever met in my life. And I've received many reflections like that recently. I've received many people telling me how important having me in their life is right now. It's just so weird. It's just so weird to be living between these two contradicting realities of great impact and purpose and wow, I'm doing it and I'm really stepping into it, and also just complete hopelessness, despair, disconnection from that other reality, constantly just going back between the two. But I think there's a knowing that it's the smoking that does that. You know, if I was sober, I would just be in this alignment, in this purpose, in this knowing, in this impact, in this trust that the tide is turning and I'm a key part of that tide, as opposed to just giving up. Just giving up on this world. Speaking of which, it's all very Mexican around here. So I guess, oh my goodness, I've never been here before. What's that? That's a really nice old building. I guess I'm kind of looking for a cafe. I don't know what I'm doing really. I just couldn't bear being in that room anymore. My body is definitely telling me that it needs some sustenance, that it's hungry. I don't really care. I don't really feel any connection with my body right now. I don't feel any desire to give it what it needs. I just want it to end. I want it to expire. Well, this is a very nice building. How's the travel vlog today, guys? So it was either this or no video at all. It was either speaking to the feels and express how pissed off I am with life, or just hide. So this is what you've got today. You've got raw, brutal, honest expression. Not your typical travel vlog. So why have we never been here before? I don't know. I don't know anything. It's rather spectacular, isn't it? Wow, look at that for view. Somebody asked today in the comments, when am I going to go out into that? I probably should, but it would require sitting on a bus with a load of tourists. Not that there's any tourists here, but there'd be Mexican tourists. Being carted about and being told you've got 40 minutes here and 50 minutes there. And I just can't be bothered. I can't really be bothered with anything right now. Gosh, I am so blessed to be in this location. What a beautiful, interesting part of the world this is. So nice to see a homogeneous society. So nice to walk past bars and clubs at night that have no bouncers, not one. I've not seen one bouncer in Mexico. You don't need them. Because the people are still in a community. They haven't all been divided by their satanic, horrendous, tyrannical elites that disguise themselves as governments. Fucking bastards. I'm so angry. It's got to a point where I can't even look at Keir Starmer anymore. Can't even look at, you know, only a few weeks ago I could laugh at it all. You know, there was some detachment there, there was some, you know, just, you know, it was all so shocking and so tyrannical that it was almost funny. But I think after the Online Safety Act, and just everything, you know, like how many things do you need to list, but I just can't even laugh at it anymore. It's all too much, too real, too tyrannical, and it's moving so fast. You know, like we used to talk about what's coming, but you know, it's here now. We are so close to enslavement disguised as communism, which is just enslavement. It's unbelievable. Having to read posts on Twitter like, do you prefer billionaires or, I can't remember, but it was a load of good stuff, you know. Do you prefer billionaires or having a roof over your head? Do you prefer billionaires or an NHS service? And then he just said, you know, if we get rid of the billionaires, we have it all, as if we can somehow trust the elite to divvy out the wealth. How can people still think that we can trust the elite to do what's right for the people in any way? Even if we're saying that politics is right, that capitalism is the problem, which obviously I don't agree with, but let's just go with that. These people honestly think, I think that chicken's days are numbered. These people honestly think that the elite would implement communism with a mind for the people, to help the people. Anyway, I seem to have wandered into the most wonderful of environments. What are these orange things? I would like to try one of those, but I don't know if I can just try one. Goodness me, this is amazing. I think it's about time I bought some fresa, some strawberries for the first time since being in Mexico. And look at all these fabulous offerings. Wow. This is another thing, like you assume that all this is pretty healthy, and then people in the comments are like, no, in Mexico they spray all their fruits with poison, and you know, you don't know if it's just libtards that are jealous, trying to upset me, or whether it's true. But honestly, my reaction is just like, oh well, whatever. Everything's poison now. I might as well just eat poison and just give up. And that is sickening, isn't it? But you get to the point where you just accept poison. It just amazes me. It just amazes me that this even exists. Hola. ¿Cuánto cuesta, por favor?
20.
Can you show? Sorry, not Espanol. How am I going to ask her if I can try one? 20 for that? Oh, I'll just buy them. Sí, gracias. A bag? Sí, gracias. Wow, 77 pence for all that. It doesn't even matter if it tastes good. And ¿cuánto cuesta, por favor? Ooh, this could be alright. Okay, see. So they are £2 for all those strawberries. And these orange things are 60 pence. I like her style of showing me the notes. That's cool. Oh, ooh, that was a bit of a scam. There was something in the buckets. It was not quite as many, but still cheaper than England. Gracias. So we're going to try these ones. I think I got enough berries for today. This is so awesome. I'm so glad I found this. I just love this. Just what I hope is good quality food everywhere. Really reasonable prices. Real people. No corporations. Fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna not do the cafe and I'm gonna go home, enjoy these orange things and make a nice strawberry and banana smoothie and smoke some more ganja and try and pretend I'm not alive. Ah, look, a doggo. Looks like a street doggo. And in the bottom of my bag I have some festering meat from yesterday. Let's see if you like it. Buddy. Hey. Are you hungry? Who is this? Okay, try and get the right angle for the dog feeding. What do you think? Oh, he's not sure. Sure, after a sniff he'll be a bit more sure. Oh yes. Burger and jambon. Is that how you say ham? Something like that. Oh, you don't like the camera? Oh. But the problem is I'm a YouTuber and I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. It's all about content. Alright mate, we'll leave you to it. We'll put the camera away and let you eat your burger. Maybe a bit of distance will help. There we go. Yeah, you love the meats. It's better than cake, isn't it mate? Oh, that stupid dry biscuit stuff that half the population in England have been brain. I mean, this is how far people have come from intuition that they actually believe that dogs are meant to eat biscuits. I mean, do I need to say any more? Do I need to break that down any more for you to realise the situation of insanity that we're living in? Dogs are meant to eat brown, dry biscuits. I have no idea where I am. I have no idea how I ended up finding that market. Whoa, what's that? Bloody hell. There's all these surprise bloody castles everywhere. This is mental. This town is unbelievable. How have we never seen this before? Oh, and there's even a bin for the rancid meat certificate, not certificate. What do you call these things? There's a word, I'm going to say napkin, but there's also one that begins with a C, no, an S, a serviette, something like that. Don't know if it's S or C, but it was serviette. There's a little prison in the middle of this square, which is interesting. I like that blue. And we're gonna, ooh, there's all these flag things that my camera won't let. Oh yes, it's just about managing it. Gimbal points reached. Gimbal endpoints reached. Camera is freaking out. We're gonna have to turn it around to reset it. Right, let's go into this church. Cool. What does that say? No cameras, probably. Oh, look at these flowers. Oh God. Lilies, man. Just the best. So I have a beautiful space. But I'm a lot more interested in these than any of the Christian indoctrination stuff. It is a beautiful space there. Oh, these are beautiful. I mean, they're plastic and obviously kind of not really beautiful, but you know, it's this mental juxtaposition that we live in now that nothing's really true, but also everything's true. Ah, gosh. And this tree doesn't look real. It looks like it's made out of paper. But it is real. I'm almost certain it's real. Wow, that feels so strange. It's kind of cactusy. It's like a succulent. Yeah, it's like a tree succulent. And here's some dystopia. A man in a mask a man that is scared of the air. We are fucked. That's a very nice doorway up there. Again, the camera's doesn't like pointing upwards, as if it's, you know, a bloody camera or something. Stupid fucking CUNT camera, cunting cunt. Anyway, I'm just going to shout the CUNT word about 5 times and then I might come back. Yeah, there's also this story I have that this channel is supposed to be positive, and you know, I get a lot of comments from people saying, you know, life is awful and trapped in the UK, and the half an hour in the evenings with you is like the respite of the day. So that brings about some apprehension in doing videos like this. You know, when I feel shit and I'm unable to entertain, I might better not doing a video at all. But it seems the feedback is no, we still appreciate it, and it's actually the authenticity that we dig. As much as humour is good, I think, and for me that's it, isn't it? Like, we just live in such a world of deception and deceit, of inversion. Everything is a lie, and people are just craving something that's real. Especially as we move into this world where all content is going to be AI generated. I think it's so important that people start shining their authenticity, which sounds really lovely. It's like, you know, the love and light people think they do it. But what they don't realise is being authentic is incredibly hard, because it really triggers people. 1, because it means you speak the truth, and 2, because you just don't play into any of the paradigms, or, you know, the biggest one being I can't offend people. You know, the biggest one being this society we live in where everyone just treads on eggshells so that they're seen to be good and nice and never upset anyone. Even if that means allowing the country to get invaded and the children to get raped, and essentially the white and English race to come to an end. But as long as they're seen as nice in the moment, that's all that matters. Cunts! The amount of people that believe they are good people, who are just letting the worst thing ever, an Islamic invasion, enter our shores, and they're cheering it on so they're seen as nice in this now moment, without any regard for the future of their children, their grandchildren, humanity, their culture, their country. It's just amazing. Amazing. People honestly think that safety and civilization, not that we've really had it for a long time, but you know, even to the decrepit levels that we have had it in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They honestly think that's going to continue under Islam. In fact, they don't even realise that it's going to be under Islam. Like, they genuinely just think everyone's the same. They've never looked at Islam, they've never studied Islam. It doesn't register with them that their prophet married a 6-year-old and started having sex with her when she was 9. It doesn't register them that Muslims openly say that they're here to end, not Gentiles, what's the word they use? I forget, but you know, disgusting people that aren't Muslims, basically. We see it in their actions, we see it in their words, we see it in everything about them, and yet people think somehow it's alright to just let loads of them in, and they think they're good people because they've been kind to the refugees. It's hard, man. You know, I think about my family, and it's hard not to feel angry at them. It's hard to, you know, respect. It's hard to, I mean, there is no connection. Like, there's deep love. I mean, it's only my parents now. I don't speak to any of my siblings. I don't speak to any of my family, any of my cousins, any of my siblings. They're all complete retards, and they're all bringing in the destruction of humanity. They're all cheering it on, and they all lined up to get their jab. You know, how can you respect these people? And yet there's a deep love towards my parents. There's a deep gratitude. There's a deep knowing that they're, you know, I was going to say always there for me, and under normal circumstances that is true, but we get into such levels of division and such levels of deception and such levels of brainwashing. You know, I wonder, you know, I genuinely wonder now if it will get to a point, as it says in the Bible, where fathers turn on sons and mothers turn on daughters, and I feel it. And I'm not saying I feel it from my parents, but I see the trajectory. Yeah, it's like, yeah, so what I was going to say is, like, there's that love there, but there's no relationship. Like, we can't, you know, we can't discuss anything. Because these people can't hear the truth. And I'm extrapolating it out from my parents now to the retarded, brainwashed, virtue signalling, egoic, narcissistic left in general now. I can't even remember what I was going to say, but you know, they're not looking for the truth. They're just looking to not look. They're just desperate to put their heads in the sand and remain virtuous. Everything's so topsy-turvy. What is seen as virtuous is insipid, and I don't even know what that means. It's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what these people are allowing to happen in the country. And I think I'm feeling it so much because I've been watching these Antifa scum who are protesting for the protection of Islamic rapists, who are protesting for the destruction of our country, who are protesting against people in communities saying we don't want our children being raped by this army in this army barracks. We call them migrants in hotels, but that's really what it is. Anyway, I'm going to have to get my maps out because I'm completely lost. This is ridiculous. I don't have a SIM card, so I'm just going to have to look for the little red dot that represents my flat and try and navigate my way back to it. Oh, this would so be a day if I was in England, but I would go and buy from the co-op garage cheese and onion sandwich and a multi-pack one cocktail Walkers. Obviously it has to be Walkers. Stuff that Seabrook nonsense up your ass, Chris. And that was like my go-to inner child food, really, but my go-to depression food. The reason I say my go-to inner child food is because really, you know, when you're depressed, you're not listening to those inner parts of yourself. And my child, when I was a child, loved one cocktail crisps. So it's like, yeah, when I'm not listening to the inner child or I'm not connected with self, it's like that part takes over and just dominates everything, and I start eating porn cocktail crisps. Anyway, I can really feel that today, so I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to be able to find a garage cheese and onion sandwich or some porn cocktail crisps. Oh, it's crap. It's fucking crap not being able to live in your homeland. That you know where life works, where you're connected, where you have, well, not really social circles anymore, to be honest. I don't think they really exist for my generation, but you know, some sort of routine and at least connection to the lands and products that match up with your childhood. So yeah, I'm just going to have some plain crisps because they're the only crisps out here that are half decent. Anyway, here's a good shot. We've got a navy blue Beetle and then one of these old VWs that I forget the name of, with a Spider-Man motif on it and lots of vintage. What do you reckon? It's got at least another 20 years in it. Is it a Passat? Is it an old school Passat? Who knows? I'm sure some of you will know. Is this a not today Satan video in English? Oh, my hair's very fluffy today. You know, it was meant to be an English refugee video, but I think it's turned out to be more of a not today Satan video. But I think it will go on English refugee, yeah, because it's just how I feel in my life, isn't it? Which is definitely English refugee. Cannabis and YouTube, Chris, cannabis and YouTube, Chris, cannabis and YouTube. It's all gonna be okay. You'll be numbing out soon. Thing is, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't really work at all anymore. There's brief moments, like if I'm really stoned and there's a particularly good YouTube video, that I can get lost in it, feel a sense of escapism, but really, it's just a state of sinking feeling that I'm doing it again, that I'm numbing out again, that I'm sacrificing myself again, that I'm not being aligned, that I'm not doing what I should be doing. Basically just, you know, hating on oneself and beating oneself up. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because it's better than being present to the awful reality of life. Says the YouTuber, while there's people that walk around with products on their bonds trying to scrape a living. What a crazy world. You can be so privileged, so lucky, so, you know, relative to the population, you know, great genetics, intelligence, incredible, good-looking nature. Okay, I'm taking a piss now, but you know, I'm in the top 2% of population in pretty much whichever way I look at it. And I'm still miserable. The orange fruit things are a complete letdown. I mean, they're alright, but I thought they'd be like those ones that you get in England. I forget the name of them. And they've got 2 brown leaves wrapped around them. Obviously they're not grown in England. But they basically taste like little oranges full of flavour. These aren't as good. Let's go and get some crisps. Oh, I've got a right haul of depression food. I've even bought some Cheetos which have lead in them. Yes, that's right, they put lead in our food. And I'm gonna eat it. Hopefully I'll die.